各位早晨。
Good morning. We will first hear from the Chief Executive and then we will take questions. Please limit yourselves to no more than 2 questions. Mr. John Lee, please. Good morning. On the 10th of December, we will have the polling day of the ordinary election for District Council. It is just 3 weeks away. We will ensure that the election is conducted in a fair, orderly and transparent way. The Electoral Affairs Committee will set up more than 600 polling stations for the ordinary election of the District Council. Some 4.33 million voters will come out to vote. In the 18 districts, there will be a dedicated polling station for district committee voters. We have also set up 2 polling stations near the border. They are near the Shangshui train station. It will be convenient for those living near the border and Hong Kong people living across the border to vote. Now, to ensure orderly voting, voters who choose to vote at the boundary polling stations will have to register first. The online registration system has come online yesterday and it will operate until 6 p.m. on the 5th of December. There will be 38,000 quotas and they will be allocated on a first-come, first-served basis. Over the past week, we have seen candidates canvassing for votes proactively all over Hong Kong. We see election banners all over Hong Kong. Under the improved electoral system, candidates will compete for support through their performance and their election platform, rather than putting up a political show and attack on others. The TMHK and another federation will organize an election forum starting next week so that candidates will have a platform to tell voters their visions. I have requested the Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Bureau together with the Government Information Office to assist them. All government departments have stepped up publicity to encourage the public and civil servants to come out to vote. Last week, I paid a visit to Shunli Estate. I also gave pamphlets to the residents to encourage them to vote. Director of bureaus and head of departments have also made use of their social media platform to encourage voters to vote with the assistance of video clips. Now, at prominent locations in Hong Kong, for example, the entrance of tunnels, we are displaying banners as well as putting up advertisements in public transport to encourage voting. We want to create a favorable ambience for votes. Now, on the polling day, we expect a team of 30,000 civil servants from various departments to assist in the voting process. A loyal and dedicated civil service is a key element of the governance system. Our civil servants staunchly support the government to fulfill our constitutional responsibility. The improved election arrangement is a key measure of our efforts. Civil servants have the duty to support this arrangement, and civil servants should lead by example and exercise your civic duty to come out to vote on the polling day. Now, the new term of the government has a clear grasp of the sentiments in the community. And by reaching out into the community, we can understand the needs of the community better and improve our policy. It is a win-win scenario. Now, besides coming out to vote, besides urging civil servants to come out to vote, I also urge you to encourage your family members, your neighbors, and your friends to vote on the 10th of December and cast your sacred vote to build a better community. Thank you. Now we will take questions from journalists. Please raise your hand and tell us your media organization, and please ask no more than 2 questions. The gentleman in the front, please. Good morning, Chief Executive. I'm from CCTV. Now, in explaining your policy address, you reached out to various stakeholders in the community. So what are the views collected, and how will you improve your next policy address? Now, recently when President Xi attended the APEC meeting, he said we need to make the developments of Asia more significant and forge a glorious path for the next 30 years. So how will Hong Kong align with what President Xi said?
I want to thank the public and different community groups for giving us their feedback on the policy address. After explaining the policy address to them, we have received views on the implementation timetable and where we should realign our focus. Now, in the Legislative Council, discussions were carried out on progress. Overall speaking, I received support on the policy directions and the implementation of key initiatives. There are suggestions on how we should optimize resources to focus on certain areas. When it comes to resources, we need to have regard to the government's fiscal position. And in fact, during the consultation, we received a lot of views from LegCo members, political parties, and we have incorporated these views in drawing up the policy address. There are also some highlights, for example, on publicity for major events, as well as measures specifically tailored for the implementation of action agendas and blueprints. I thank everyone for these suggestions. As for regional development, in the coming 5 years, in the Asia-Pacific region, it will become the major locomotive for economic growth in the world as the development shifts from the west to the east. As to how we should leverage on this advantage and grasp opportunities, we should foster closer ties with our neighboring countries in the APEC region. In fact, we have very close relationships with the Southeast Asian countries. In fact, I visited 3 ASEAN countries to forge a stronger economic and trade tie with them. Meanwhile, I also tap new opportunities to bring the maximum benefits for Hong Kong by visiting other countries. Now, we have a number of advantages. We have the super connector and the super value adder. This is because we have world-class professionals in Hong Kong. They specialize in different areas. For example, in the development of the Belt and of projects in the Belt and Road Initiative, through collaborating with the counterparts, we have received acclaim. We also need to give play to our positions as the 8 centers. The positioning will not only help promote economic growth locally, but also enhance cooperation with different economies in the world. We can contribute our advantages to their development. For example, we are the International Financial Center, the International Trade Center, as well as the International Center for Dispute Resolution in the APEC region. We are also an international logistics hub with just 5 hours of
We will, of course, try to encourage more trade between Hong Kong and the U.S. In fact, the U.S. has been enjoying one of the biggest returns in bilateral trade between Hong Kong and the U.S. And I think that should be something that the U.S. should pay serious attention to, because trade will benefit people of both places. And, of course, we see the trade surplus goes very much to the U.S. side. So I will, together with my team and government officials, continue to promote trade relationship between Hong Kong and other economies, whether it is in this region, new markets, Europe, or U.S. In regard to District Council election, it is a very important election because it is enhanced and improved election system which will produce very hard-working district council members who will really be attached to the district to make district affairs good for the citizens of that district, and will also ensure that it will stay in its right purpose in accordance with the basic law, in other words, a consultative body. And also, we will be ensuring that all these district council members will be patriots and will not betray the interests of Hong Kong and the country. We have been doing all we can to promote people to come out to vote for, first of all, the reason that it will ensure improved administration of district affairs, resulting in good districts for us to enjoy. Second, it is also a civic responsibility to vote. That is why we have asked civil servants to demonstrate that civic responsibility to come out to vote. And the third thing is civil servants in the process of consultation with the future district council will be able to grasp and understand more of the needs and wants of individual districts. That, of course, will help fulfill their purpose of serving the people of Hong Kong, in particular the people of individual districts. And I encourage all citizens, all voters to come out to vote on that day, because you all live in one of the 18 districts. And these 18 districts are our home. We all want to make this home a better place to live in. So your participation will ensure that you will produce the right district council members to help you build that home district. So it is of benefit to all. Come out and vote. We will try to make everybody appreciate and enjoy the success of district council election. So we'll do everything we can. Also, I think the merit of the new district council election is seen both in the election process as well as the final delivery of outcomes by the actual running and conduction of the improved running of the district council meetings. We will have expectations of district council's performance, and there will be a process not just by the public to monitor their performance, but of course the system itself will have a monitoring system so that the elected district council members will do their duty dutifully. And I'm sure that all those who now stand for election have the heart and passion to do their job well. So I have strong faith in their performance in due course.
時間關係呢，我哋解答今日最後一位記者。
In the interest of time, we will take the last question today, the lady in the back. I'm from Now TV. First, about the takeaway from APEC. How would you analyze the future developments after the bilateral meeting between President Xi and Biden? And what about the sanctions on China? Now, you haven't attended the APEC, so you didn't get to report Hong Kong situation to President Xi. And about the legislation for, and about about invoking Article 55 of the Hong Kong National Security Law. Under what circumstances will Hong Kong pass cases involving national security offences to the mainland authority? After the APEC meeting, there was a meeting between state leaders on both sides on various issues. The meeting was amicable, and I think this sends a very encouraging message to the world. And of course, it is very encouraging for Hong Kong too. Hong Kong has always been a staunch supporter of APEC's mission, that is economic development. And mutual facilitation of liberalization measures to pursue economic development and to benefit people in various countries. But this is a positive development, and we will do our best to align ourselves with this positive direction. There will be concrete measures and results. However, it takes two parties to tango in terms of trade. Now, concerning the unreasonable sanctions on myself, I sneer at it. Still, sanctions against the chief executive would affect the communication between governments, and it will also undermine our publicity campaigns. Hong Kong is a fully open economy which fully supports cooperation and mutual communication. However, it takes the efforts of both sides to establish good communication. We will do our best. We will do what we can do. However, if the other party across the table is a hegemony and is acting unreasonably, then it is their responsibility. In terms of trade, the trade surplus enjoyed by U.S. in trade with Hong Kong accounts for a large percentage of their trade surplus. We are all for regional cooperation, and we will take proactive measures to promote positive developments. I have designated the Financial Secretary to attend the APEC Economic Leaders meeting on my behalf. He has delivered. He has explained Hong Kong's unique strengths and edges to the world, and we have enlarged our circle of friends. He has sent out positive messages on economic and trade cooperation. Now, I have very smooth communication with the central government. I'm extremely grateful to the central government for the trust it's placed in the Hong Kong SAR's governance. They valued my views highly. Every year, I report to the Premier of the central government, and we exchange views on a comprehensive range of issues. I'm grateful for the Financial Secretary for reflecting Hong Kong's situation to President Xi, and President Xi cares about Hong Kong a lot. On Article 55 of the Hong Kong National Security Law, the law is clear. Under 3 circumstances, Article 55 may be invoked. These include complex cases involving a foreign country or external elements, making it difficult for the region to exercise jurisdiction over the case, or it is a serious situation where the government is unable to effectively enforce the national security law, or when there is a major and imminent threat to national security. At present, I have every confidence that Hong Kong is capable of dealing with national security risks, including the ongoing cases. We are confident that we can deal with these high-profile cases. I have faith in our law enforcement agencies as well as our judicial system. Now, if there is involvement of foreign country or external elements in cases in relation to the Black Cloud violence in 2019 and the Color Revolution, we have to be on guard. We strongly condemn these external forces against any interference. We will uphold our responsibility in dealing with national security risk, including discernible risk and ongoing cases. We want external forces not to intervene in our affairs. This is the end of the conference. Thank you.